aggressive team here in Clausey, Squiggly and Bunny Dummy that they've got to find one. As we hop onto the pitch, it's Alke in blue, Azure in the orange. Boyo, you know what to do, buddy.
Our grand final, the best of 3, best of 7. One best of 7 is not enough. We need at least 2 best of 7 wins to crown our champion. Alke, the run of a lifetime right now, and Azure, the huge underdog, second in the Swiss stage, second now in the bracket, potentially making it to third, and that's a save from Matthew on LCT's goal. And what an amazing start for Alke. They keep trying to go, it will not work out, remains 0-0, but it was a prime chance to start off well.
Yeah, Alke looking for goals early, put the fear into Azure. Well, no one being able to connect with the ball there. Squiggly finally pushing it down into the corner, not able to follow up on it. Balleries gets it away, blocks out Clausey as well. Maxu downfield. Balleries had cheated up into the corner. Alke now looking to just boost steal as much as they can away from Azure.
Azure, if they want to do better than their any counterparts, they just got to score a goal in this series, and that's already an improvement. But that ball comes in centre, and they will want to be doing more than just scoring a goal. They want to ruin the streak, they want to win the series, and it might be close to find the first, but Balleries diving in, already finding a close save. 1 minute, 30 seconds gone by, and this game has been exceptionally close, but finally LCT finds something.
LCT had to cheat up so far. Look at that, cuts the rotation, steps on in afterwards, and Squiggly is not there in time. Brilliant play coming out from Alke to get that first goal, but it's those spontaneous moments where they truly shine.
Oh, 1-0 start, and LCT might get another off the kickoff. Squiggly makes it back in time. This is the early game of the series, and as the stat line will go for Azure, they drop 1 game at least every series, so... or 1 game in total, sorry, every series. So I would say for the Azure fans to not lose hope if they drop this game, because you never know, there's still plenty of chances in the future. It's a best of 3, best of 7. There are so many chances, but Alke on a different level are going to make those chances almost less than 0.
Close to the halfway mark. This game literally rocked in on pass, and that's because we've only had 1 goal so far. So massive credit to Azure to keep Alke from scoring. But again, it's Alke's change in playstyle to the rest of the Asian Pacific South region that has to be noted. We were talking in the green room in that break and saying they're looking oddly European in nature, where they're bringing that sort of playstyle. As soon as you get that 1 goal up ahead, it's fine. You control the ball. You don't need to rush for that second. Wait for that opportunity to show itself well.
Of course, Alke look to cement themselves as the best team in the APAC South region, but along with that, you know, we might have a new best Irish player in the world in Maxu. That ball comes in centre, it should be a goal for Balleries. It will be exactly that. 2 minutes on the clock, 2-0 to Alke. They extend their lead, and Azure struggling to find these shots.
Well, Alke having to send all 3 players forward to get that goal. Last man coming on through to score at the 3rd man. And straight up, the first attack required 2 players to set up by removing the 2 defenders, thus giving a nice open net for Balleries to finish it off. 2-0 in favour to Alke.
A goal been found!
But that has ruined their weekend, I think. What more can they ruin?
Well, a goal was finally been found against Alke in the playoffs. Azure Esports doing what no team could do in the playoffs. They found a goal, but can they find the game? They still trail by 1 in game number 1, but at least they've got that confidence now that they know they can score. Bunny Dummy and net will not find the touch, and Balleries will get gifted another one. 2-goal lead reinstated for Alke with 1.5 minutes on the clock.
Oh, that little glimmer of hope. It can be rekindled though, boy. 2 goals is not an ocean dividing amount. 1 minute 40 still on the clock, essentially. Go for a Cook's ear pinch, Maxu, to gain ground, and it's a good decision from there. Squiggly with a second touch, not able to be found. Maxu blocks him out once again. Bunny Dummy on the ball, but Clausey came in as well. That's 2 players dislodged. Maxu looking for a teammate round center. No, looking for net, blocked out by Squiggly.
Ball comes centre, LCT off to the backboard to Boris. Oh, it's a close attempt for style points there it would have been. The 2-goal lead remains. Well, Azure has to climb. A minute on the clock in game 1, looking to be going in Alke's favour. Unsurprisingly, of course. Maybe Azure can pull something out of the bag to at least mount a close enough attempt at a comeback.
Bunny Dummy jumping around as well, putting himself out of position. He's double committing on with Squiggly right there. Communications need to be picked up by Azure. They cannot be sending 2 men to the ball each and every time. They need backup. They need exit paths as well. Realistically, honestly, Azure with a player downfield ready to receive, or at least a player out wide to give them options to pass our defense. Right now, it's a clearance out to the mid, and then instantly picked up by one of the Alke players. Exhibit A is Balleries, nice and slow, dribbles it up. 57 still in the tank, so he can linger around. Was thinking about it, but Bunny Dummy puts it out wide. Again, the attacks come through from Alke.
Oh, the clock dies down. It might become 4-1. It's on the line. It's mounted around. It's in by Matshu. He gets the credit. Doesn't matter either way, because Alke will still take game 1. 4-1, 3-1. A very few difference, but a 4-1 scoreline is where game 1 will end. And Azure, they dropped their first game in the series. Will they be able to take one back? Game number 2 is going to be an incredibly tough ask.
Yeah, whilst that 4th goal for Alke won't change the fate of game 1, it pads the score, pads their stats, and it's nice to know that you can still be dominant even after losing that 1 goal. And I wonder if that is weighing on their minds. Right now, we look towards the camp of Azure, and it's got to be said, they're talking it out. You can see they're contemplating, thinking it. It's still looking good.
Let's look at having a little dance there, maybe a bit excited for this game number 2, and I don't blame them for being excited. It's an intense moment here. They're looking for this win. They're against who they know to be the top team, and if you do fall back to the interview, Squiggly said he wanted to play Alke because they've beaten 1NE already. They don't need to do it again, but they've not beaten Alke yet. They want to prove to be the best of the best.
And at the end of the day, the best of the best is the ones that take the dub. Near enough. The difference between 1st and 2nd in this region right now, at the start of the weekend, I was so sure Alke, would be on top, and they've done so well to get through to this point, but that 2nd position, Boyo, has really been up in the air, and Azure have done so well to get this far. Right now, they're breaking expectations, but the biggest expectation to break would be to break down Alke, and they would have to do it across 2 different best of 7s. They've already broke them for a goal. To get that game is now what they've got to be looking towards, but 4-1, I mean, that is a harsh scoreline at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, we can't overstate how difficult this is for Azure. No one is taking a game of Alke yet. Azure need to take off 8 games against them to maybe win, but maybe it could even be 12 games or whatever games, because they might have to go to a 3rd series if they won 1. It's just such a difficult task that no one got even anywhere close to doing it. No one took a single game and needed to take almost the double digits worth.
But no one's able to take a single goal, Boyo. So right now, the door of possibilities is slowly opening in front of us. Azure, as soon as you can get 1 game, you could get a series. Get a tournament. That's what we're looking towards here. You've got to be hopeful. You've got to believe in yourself, and Azure do that indeed. Like you said, already taking down one of the other titans in the region in 1NE. They've just got this, as I put it, BBEG, the big bad evil guy, the boss at the end of the game in front of them. And Alke, they feel sort of like the bad guy purely because of that ego, but as we put before, Boy, they're deserving of it.
Certainly so, and here's Squiggly. Take that one to the ceiling. Bunny Dummy will get the pass in centre to no one but LCT. It will go to the other side. Balleries can't push that in just yet. It falls back to the Alke half. Matshu avoids the bump from Claus, takes him out of position, and now a 1v2, and Mashu might just score it. Squiggly gets a great save. He finds an opening upfield. Boris has to rush back, but low on the boost. He finally finds 100 to make the challenge, but Azure, they've had a good bit of pressure coming from them, unable to score from it, but they're doing a well-played game so far. But can they keep this up? Never mind.
Machu denied his first attempt right up there, and that felt harsh because Machu was just coming on through. Here though, this goal is spectacular because it requires a whole different type of mechanics than what we normally talk about, because this is reactionary mechanics to be able to then put your car in the perfect place to get that shot with enough power as well to put it away. Machu is the real deal. As you said, perhaps the new best Irish player, and he's not even playing in the European region.
I was going to say the best Scottish players in OCE, you know, I think, I can't remember exactly who it is. I believe it's Sprat is Scottish, and no one better over here, of course. So, you know, all the best players from the UK are just going abroad and having to do the best over there. Right, here's Bunny Dummy to take the ball upfield. He'll fall out to the side. Claus, they kill that in the midfield. Follow up from Machu. Off to the back post, quickly can get the clear. The LCT will send it straight back into action, off the ceiling, bouncing down. Claus can find it. That's off to the ceiling. Can Azure push this ball upfield? They keep getting shut down. And Alke always there, always ready to get in the way. LCT a great chance there. Almost makes it for the shot on net. But just barely missing out, a little bit too slow. And Azure struggling to break out with their half now. They started off strong, but they started to slip away.
Machu was given way too much time and way too much respect there, so he is able to just have free reign over the ball. Once again, with touch, threatening place in front of the net, but Alke not looking to dive on that so quickly. Squiggly with the chance blocked out. Once again, Clausy with the ball into the center, but not a third man into the box. You've got to fully commit on goal opportunities like that, but Azure, they're trying to play it cautious still. They know it's only one goal separating the two. They saw how one NE played, and it feels like they're trying to emulate that. Keep it as close as can be.
Bunny Dummy tries for the clear. They'll not find the touch as the ball comes in centre. LCT getting caught out. The ball's way too high for him to reach with the lack of boost he faces. Going back, Bunny Dummy. Making open for just a moment, but has to try and catch ball. He's too quick on it. Find the pass to LCT, and it could result in a goal. A good save there. But Alke just holding their 1-0 lead, and no worry right now with Azure. Very few chances coming from them. They might make it 2. They will make it 2, and Alke just absolutely pummeling Azure with shot after shot, and he will eventually slip by like we're seeing.
So good that he makes this shot look easy, Balleries, right there. Because he was coming across the ball on that. Oh, sorry, the ball was coming across there at a very difficult angle. Balleries was coming across from the width as well against it, just to get that tiny little touch with precision. About tiny little touches. Machu does get that pass, but unfortunately Balleries not finished. LCT taking it back in his own half, but this could be dangerous. LCT gets another touch, and Machu could get it to the corner. Azure denied just one goal. That's all they're looking for, right? Just another. Alke said, you've had your fill, you've had one goal, that's it. No more in this series for you.
I feel like that should have been a goal for Azure. They just went too slow on the approach. It was right in front of net, a prime opportunity, but either way, Alke get it away, and he'll find a third as well, 32nd, and they are just having a good time, pummeling shots to net. Seems like they're not ever worried about having a chance of losing.
Balleries not even letting Machu have that one, because that was a belter of a shot from Machu, and Balleries is just there like, cheers mate, I'll take that.
Big pinch away. Machu, can he make it a 4-0 win? Potentially so. The ball will bring it centre for LCT. Bunny W finds an opening. It's just looking for goals at the moment for Azure, just trying to build up the confidence and maybe find something that will work for them, but everything they're trying is not working. They found one goal in game 1, but since then, absolutely dry in the tank, and Alke just keep on stopping them. They keep their unbeaten streak alive, and heading into game number 3, I wouldn't be surprised if it stays alive for a little bit longer.
So once again, we'll be going to the Azure cams here. You can see talking, conversing what they need to do. It was a closer game two, I'm going to argue there, boy. Sure, Azure not able to get a goal up on the board, but their defense being able to handle a lot better. The problem is that these opportunities for Alke just keep showing themselves. Just keep on popping up whenever Azure wants to try and push down to attack. Thus, they can only have, say, one player covering the defense, and that one player is not enough to withhold Alke.
First game was 12 shots to 2 in favour of Alke. Game number 2 getting a little bit closer in that department. Only 10 shots to 6 this time around, so Azure getting closer in the shots, but they're not scoring the goals, so frankly it doesn't matter. It's LCT, the wizard in defense, making 4 saves all by himself. 1 for Matchshoot as well, but Alke just, it's their midfield presence I think as well, which they don't allow Azure to get upfield. Azure will hit the ball away, and Alke's quick and ready to intercept and send it straight back to the Azure net.
So notice in the last series, I know you weren't casting it alongside me there, boy, but up against 1NE, for that very first game, it was LCT in defense. For 2, 3, and 4, it then turned into Bulleries being more of that third man back. I think it's just that play style, and they've got a couple of different plans, a couple of natural flows that this team can go with. And so it's just, we're seeing part 1 of Alke. They haven't had to go to plan B. They haven't been able to show their second option right now, and they're just quite comfortable pulling through with the first. Azure, as soon as they perhaps see a much more defensive Alke come on through, that could be good for them. We don't know, because this first playstyle was just dominating, and thus Azure, to try and break through with all these attacks coming through from Alke, are sending a little bit too much upfield.
So Azure 2-0 down in series number 1. They don't have a chance at winning today. They've got to start winning soon here. So see off the backboard though, he's going to try and ruin those chances. Ball reads off the crossbar. That could have been a goal, but he gets a touch pass.
How does he keep that in the mix?
Oh, sorry, how did he get that touch?
Look, straight up here, LCT
What?
just gets out of the way, allows Bulleries to stay on that wall, jump instantly back out. And it's that confidence, like I said earlier, they know LCT will just gun it back to his own half. They can stay. Bulleries pulling off just a nuts touch.
Oh,
and that's the second. Alke are just built different.
I'm still stuck in that other touch by Bulleries. That was an incredible goal, but the net is open, and Azure can see the kick-off goal a minute gone by, and already 2-0 down. And Azure Esports, it is not working well for them, but I can't even blame them. It's just Alke are just better with everyone else.
That they are. It's nuts. Don't get me wrong, you've got to build up your biggest team. And we saw that in the early days. Remember going all the way back. That's heartbreaking. Defense just holding. But going all the way back, boy, to the early days of OC with Alpha Sydney, the Chiefs, being near enough the only team that can contend. We're at that stage with APAC South right now, with Alke. Teams like Azure, teams like 1NE, give them the rest of this region, because we've got so much Rocket League going on. And perhaps they will be able to contend, but right now, I'm being honest, Alke are just on that next level, aren't they?
They are just on that next level, and I think this is a team we look at now, because we expect them to be top 2 in APAC South by the time the playoff bracket comes around. Barney Dummy does find 1 back, so another goal for Azure will boost the confidence for sure, but still 2 goals down, and it took them this long to find another one against Alke. It's a tough ask to make any form of a comeback, but as I was saying, Alke, a team may expect to make it to that APAC playoff, the spot for the major. And of course, everyone really expects Tokyo Verde, realises team to be the team that should just make it to the major kind of easily. But I think people are really maybe under expecting from APAC South and Alke here. I think Alke could be a real contender to that throne of Realize in Asia.
And then, of course, talking about the rest of the regions when we come around to the majors, right? They could
that's a good pass.
do a lot of unexpected damage. Good pass indeed. And we're starting to see Azure wise up to the ways of Alke, start being able to find these goals. By the end of the series, would not be surprised if they start finding games, you know, because we are in that best of 3, best of 7. But it just comes down to Azure. Keep learning right now. This is their all important.
I don't understand this guy.
Yeah. I was not expecting to be able to jump off here because this is nuts. To just redirect over there. We don't know if the original hit coming on through from LCT was enough. Damn.
Ballreed's definitely made that enough anyway. No one was going to be saving that. Ballreed's this game, this series alone, had been absolutely insane with the shots he'd scored. Keep up more of that, Ballreed. I would not mind it. But here, it's quickly going to bring it in centre. They're trying to find a second goal. Break the barrier, at least, you know, they've only scored 1 in any game so far. Maybe we can break that barrier, get 2. Maybe they can just build their way up slowly but surely. This series, you know, may end up being a clean sweep for Alke pretty much, but you know, maybe Azure can bounce back. Maybe they can fight and try in that next series. Maybe they can learn something. That's what they need to do. They need to learn in this series and try and figure out what to do. They've got that extra chance.
And that's what they are doing. Look at Azure. A couple of weird plays there where they're trying to break expectations because Alke is so quick on their reactions and their decision making that if you start throwing weird passes in, really going for obscure strats, you can then get Alke second guessing themselves. That could slow them down, give you options if you're Azure. LCT blocked out there. Maxu was coming into that as well, which is very odd, but it's not hurt because it put the ball out wide to a place where realistically Azure had no one there. LCT again taking this out wide. This time it's been read by Clawsy, but he's got no options. He's got nowhere really to place that ball. It's picked up by Ballreed.
Bunny dummy. And so finds down, get the boost. Actually just beat him to that ball. 4-1 the scoreline, a minute on the clock. This game undoubtedly going to go to Alke. But Azure, they'll be facing match point. Can they find the game in this first best of 7, or will it be a sweep for Alke? Can Azure figure something out? They've got Coach in the background, Coach Beastbound in the background. They give them a helping hand. Will it be enough though? Or is Alke just too good? Are they just that much better than everyone else that they cannot be stopped?
And time will tell, but for this game 3, Alke again a dominating force. Azure looking, searching, scrounging around for what they can find. They're down the back of the sofa, who knows, but they are close. Notice these 4-1 goal lines. Like I said last time around when it was just 3-0 for Alke. Closer than on paper. You can see Azure with opportunities.
What is it for fun?
Just not able to convert.
Not even for the fun of it, it wouldn't slip in. Alke 3-0 in series, and we see Azure now. They will be feeling stressed. They want to win this just as much as Alke do. They said in an interview, they want to prove that they are the best. And they've got to beat Alke to do that. They might lose this series, but there's always redemption. It's a best of 3, best of 7. Alke needs to win 2 best of 7s if they want to win it all.
So you can see there, Squiggly sort of leading the charge on comms, it seems, but just such a big smile on his face. They're enjoying themselves, Azure. They always knew this was going to be a difficult match. But as you start looking across the board, a lot of Azure's points are coming from midfield passes. You can see a few saves in there as well, but it's a lot just trying to control, and they're getting better at that, Boyle, aren't they?
Certainly so, Azure. I feel that they are just getting so close to maybe figuring something out, but it close isn't enough when Alke's still beating them by 3 goals almost every single game. They've got to do something different, and I wish I could tell them what it is, but sometimes Ballreed just gets these insane touches and they can't do anything about it. Like, you've seen that last goal there with the pass, that's insane from Ballreed, and I think it was the third goal, if I recall correctly, from Alke, which was also just an incredible touch.
So, one thing I want to point out is that we have seen hardly any demos in this series so far. Azure were averaging about 4 demos a game, and we just have not seen really any. I think about 2 near enough a game, and they're sort of just coming out from nowhere opportunities, so it don't really matter that they're getting those demos. Is this coming down to just how Alke maneuvers themselves around the pitch, makes them hard to demo, or just that Azure don't feel comfortable to use that boost to go for demos rather than keeping that man back and not wanting to commit so much deep downfield?
I'm going to mention that myself of, you know, the demo game from Azure was a big strong point for them, which I think really propelled them to their wins, but I feel like Alke playing at such a debilitating win. It's so hard to bump into them, and they're always in the air, they're always out of the way of your car, and they're always just scoring more and more goals. It's baller beats to LCT, and of course it's going to be a goal for Alke.
The Three Musketeers at play once again. You've got AZU taking it on deep, pulling out the defender. Balleries, as you said, straight to LCT, perfectly delivered. And well, LCT will make good on that conversion. All 3 caught in the corner now from Alke. And this is when you've really got to punish them, Azure, but they can't do it. They just cannot scrounge together the opportunity, because they're feeling so pressured right now. That's a good pass on out to Clausie, who's moved on over to the Batmobile. Of course, Halloween event going on right now, somewhat fitting. LCT out to Balleries, the conversion, it is BEA beautiful.
Their passing stages are just so good off the back wall. Balleries knows he won't score it, he gives it to LCT, and Bunny Dummy has to stretch the length of the net to try. And he gets a touch on the ball, but just too little, too late. Alke make it 2-0, not a minute gone by, and they are going to take this series. I can see it now, but will they take the set? Probably so.
Oh, that is dirty. AZU, go hop in the shower.
What else can we say? Alke are just better. Azure, they're doing what they can, but what they can is not enough against the team of this prowess. It's like, it's generally like watching like Worlds again, where we'd go and see like an EU team versus like the Season 3 OCE teams, and it'd be an absolute pummeling if you were sort of watching that, but it's within the one region.
It was quite funny, because like with teams like Tokyo Verde and Alke, previously 3 Rats, they just keep doing it. Before RLCS, for APAC, as well as, you know, Middle East and North Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, was announced, we were like, someone needs to pick up these 2 teams and go, say, put them over in OC, because they would be able to do damage. RLCS got announced to the region, and it's like, well, you don't have to do that anymore. They can just dominate these regions. They now can perform professionally. There is the budget there behind them. The winnings for these guys to now take this professionally, and they are taking that opportunity with both hands.
Both hands, and scoring so many goals in the process. 90 seconds gone by, and it's already 4-0 to Alke. They're just freestyling. What on earth was this? Look at. Okay, they missed. Okay, I don't know how they've missed that. After all shots they've taken and scored, they missed that one. But that was absolutely wild. They take it to the run backboard, go to the length of the pitch, get the shot on net, hit the post. But Azure, they just had to sit back and watch. What were they going to do about it? They couldn't make it in time. Alke are playing so difficult to deal with.
That's because they're sending 2 players into each attack like that, and it's...
Oh, LCT, how?
Wow.
How has he got this touch then?
How?
It's not like a
That
compilation
is a
of
bewildering
us just
amount of control.
how the series. It's just a big collection of how, constantly. That's all it's been. We're so confused.
And you just got to think now, boy, for how many years have we missed out on the opportunity to see these guys, right? RLCS, straight up was lacking. They saw the light and are now allowing these guys to perform on the world stage to currently 17,000 people at home. And that number is going to keep on increasing as the day goes on. And as the day goes on, we've got even more Rocket League. RLCS is absolutely stacked at the moment. APAC South looking good with teams like Alke leading the charge. But as the regionals go on, the other teams will close that gap in skill. And I've got to say, when it comes around to that 3rd regional, I'm so excited for it. Maxu going for the bump, removes the player, and gets the sit for Alke.
And you know the scariest part about all this, Bacon? Is that Alke, well, LCT said that they've not been practicing and that they're going to start grinding, you know, after this tournament. What's going to happen next week, you know?
Well, I'm
Can you
hoping
win by like
Alke-
more?
Yeah, I'm hoping that Alke will get way more scrims in because everyone's going to be wanting to scrim them. It's the same with Azure. Team Attilia now should not have any issues getting more scrims, and the entire region is just going to raise its level because that's what it's sort of been doing over, take the last year. The rise in APAC South has been crazy. The last 2 months, the rise has been momentous. And the potential is ludicrous right now for the Asian region, isn't it?
We're watching a 6-0 in the grand finals, but there is so much potential to be had. It's a big thing for like a lot of these regions like Asia. They've got such top talent, and that's how other teams get better. Look at Sam, look at OCE. The teams got better by playing against the top talent, because eventually someone's got to beat them. They're just having fun, Alke. They're trying to score an own goal at this stage. We're trying to get off, like, unobvious about it.
They want the Brazil.
They want to get a Brazil and just trying to be as, you know, discreet about this own goal attempt as possible now, I'm convinced.
This is just ludicrous.
Oh, they got to go.
Level. There it is, Clausey with the one for Azure. Bulleries, yeah, LCT's playing double agent right now, it looks like.
What do we say? 6-1 to Alke, 52nd. They win series number 1. And they're 1-0 in the best of 3 set. Now all they'll have to do is do it again, and if they do it getting no games dropped, they will win an RLCS regional without dropping a single game. They've made it this far. If I can do the count in my head, that would be what, 9 games, then another 4, 13, 17. This will be their 21st game in a row unbeaten.
And what, they're trying to go for 25 in total?
Yep, 25 unbeaten games is what they're going for.
Literally just salt it and pack it at that point. But will we get the Brazil here? You can see Maxu wants it. Clausey trying to deny. Bunny W is back. What he's got to do is just allow this ball to touch the ground. It's been disallowed. It's still up. They're following rule 1. Good stuff. You know, I respect
the Brazil!
Brazil! Hey!
It came
for a moment, I didn't believe it.
And I was convinced it was going to touch the ground here. Oh, they're so close as well. A Brazil for the final game of Series 1. Alke making a statement on the biggest stage they've been on so far. A sweep in the first series, and we will be expecting a sweep in the second, won't we, Bacon?
I don't know. Yes, but I still can't believe it. Azure have to get a game. Alke cannot. It's, again, such a hard fought straight there.